on first play of the game. What was it that they did that were able to throw you off there and get things off to a bad start?
It was really, what we expected. We didn't really expect the corner to fall off like that, which then I tried to get it over, the underneath defender's hands. He ended up tipping it, and then the corner ended up making a good play on it. So, not a great decision by me. I should have just brought it down to Joe, but obviously you can't take that back now.
Coach seems to think Goody will be back next week, but can you just describe the difference that he makes when he's available and in the game?
Yeah, he's obviously a really good vertical threat. He's got a lot of speed. But whenever he's not able to be out there, we got to find a way to still get the pass game going. With whoever we have out there, we got to find a way to get a pass game going. So it'll be good to get him back, but until he's back, we got to figure it out.
You guys have had this happen in the past, but you went almost an hour, probably more than an hour, without the ball from end of the first half to the start of the second. How difficult is that to kind of keep everything together and keep a rhythm, and then kind of you saw the lull that it hit in the second half?
I mean, really just comes down to execution. There's really nothing else besides that it boils down to you got to be able to find a way. It's happened before. It's not necessarily our defense's fault. It's, just coincidental timing for, the other team that we're playing. And we've got to find a way to quit doing it week after week. Because if we keep doing it week after week, we're expecting a different result whenever we're doing the same thing. So we've got to figure it out.
You pick up 9 yards on that run, come up hobbling afterwards, but still got it out. What happened on that play, and just how's your ankle feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't feel great right now, but it's just, a part of football. You're going to get rolled up on, you're going to twist some ankles, whatever. So not really sure exactly what it is, but was able to finish the game. So
What would you say to the critics that say you're having your biggest struggles against man coverage?
I mean, it's the truth. There's really nothing else to say about it. Regardless of what it is, whenever you play man against us, we're having trouble right now. So we got to figure it out because that's what we're going to get the rest of the way. And that's really what it boils down to. I mean, there's really nothing else to say to that. I got nothing to say to those people. We got to, stay within us and find a way to beat man coverage, or else, we'll get beat these next 2 games. And we're going to try to expect a different result without a different, plan to attack it, because we know what we're going to get.
Aaron.
You had about 75 yards going into the fourth quarter, and then you have a drive where you double your yardage total for the entire day. Took about 3.5 quarters to get going, but what did you start seeing differently at that point in time that allowed you to kind of open up the pass game?
Just finally started hitting the guys, I guess. We started getting some tempo going. Really nothing else to it other than, I was putting the ball where it needed to be, and the guys were there whenever they needed to be there.
Neil.
Brendan, Coach mentioned that teams are starting to kind of scheme up Joe a little bit differently. What did you see from them this offseason? He said you guys called his number a little bit more this afternoon than previous weeks. What was Arizona doing so well that kind of just limited him to that one catch?
We've had too many weeks where Joe's only got 1 catch. I think people are doing a good job of, quote-unquote, scheming him up, but you still got to find a way to, get him the ball. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, but 1 catch a game is not going to, show that or anything. So, I mean, we got to find a way to get him the ball. He's a really talented player, and, what we got going right now is not very good for, any of us. Like, as far as execution goes, I mean, we're not doing what we need to do. So, the way that Joe gets the ball more is we got to execute, and then we got to find a way to, just get him targets and stuff like that.
You had 3 opportunities to build on, I think, a 14-7 lead due to those missed field goals. Did you feel like there was any different approach to those drives or anything Arizona did differently there in the first half?
They just, they're a good pass defense. We knew that going into it. At the end of the day, we just got to find a way to get that first down. If we don't get that first down, we keep having 3 and outs and, some lulls throughout the game. It's just we're not going to produce. So we got to find a way to move the chains and get things going, and then we'll put points on the board, and then we can get some momentum going, because our defense played an unbelievable half. Yeah, they missed 2 field goals, but who cares? We had the lead at half. We got to find a way to win that game.
Arizona really struggled defending quarterback runs entering this game. 9 carries, 30 yards. guys maybe trying to get into that a little bit more, and it just wasn't really there? What was the biggest factor in them kind of limiting you on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, part of that had to do with the fact that, you know, Tawee and Zion were having really good games on the ground. And then obviously whenever I rolled my ankle, I wasn't really able to move too much. But, no, that's really what it comes down to. We were really running the ball well with our running backs. And then, you know, whenever I was able to run the ball, we did a pretty good job of picking up some key downs. But, yeah, that's really all I got on that.
Any more for Brendan? Ryan, last one.
Zion Johnson, saw him kind of have an expanded role today. What have you personally seen out of him over these last couple weeks with Evan being out?
You know, he's a true freshman that is ready to go, and I think y'all saw it out there. He's really talented, and he's making plays for us. And, you know, he's a guy that shows up and ready to work every day. Doesn't really say too much, but, you know, whenever his number's called, he's ready to go.
Thank you, Brendan.
Sure.